Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to my first video since the NBA restart. My name is Walker. I'm coming to you guys with PointSourceDFS.com. Link to the new site is in the description below. I did link it in my last video when I did my kind of update video on what my plans were for the NBA. We are just now making the return to YouTube after a few really fun Twitch streams, so it's going to be a really fun video. Hopefully, I'm going to break down my top 3 plays for you guys, as always, and give you guys reasons why I do love the plays, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun to get back into it. So if you have not already, please do leave a like and go ahead and comment on the video. Let me know who you guys like for this slate tomorrow. I'm posting this the night before the slate. I'm actually trying to get back to watch this Lakers-Blazers game right now, but I decided that I'm not going to be able to get videos up in time the day of these playoff games due to the start times. So I'm going to be doing them the night beforehand. That way you guys have time to watch it and be able to take everything into account. And then in terms of injuries and things like that, anything that I feel that is necessary to be updated in terms of my top plays is probably something that I'll tweet out on Twitter. And if not, then it will be on the Point Source site. So let's go ahead and jump right into this one. The first play I want to talk to you guys about is going to be probably my favorite player on the slate tomorrow, just in terms of who I like the most, and that is Caris LeVert. Caris LeVert is an absolute stud. He's averaging 31.4% in his usage rate with obviously with Kyrie and KD off the court. He's averaging over 1.3 fantasy points per minute since the restart. And look for him to kind of continue his efforts in carrying this Brooklyn Nets team. It's pretty safe to say he's their only fighting hope. We're going to look to see him play at least 35 minutes again tomorrow, hopefully closer to 36, 37 as he has in the past. And at just 8.2K, his upside is actually still immense. This is actually a price that does not scare me off Caris LeVert at all, especially in playoff games where he's going to get as much run as possible. And he's one of my favorite sort of back-to-the-well plays that I'm looking to run it back with. I played him last game in the slate just yesterday where he dropped 47 at 7.6K. And I'm actually very comfortable, like I said, with playing him at 8.2K. I don't think it's a big enough of a price increase. I don't think I'm going to be too scared off Caris LeVert until he's 9K or more. I'm not going to be super comfortable with him in cash if he's 9K or more, but he's definitely not worth much more than a GPP play at that price range. But here at 8.2K, I do love him a lot. The Raps are actually generally pretty strong against opposing shooting guards, but with nobody else to turn to, this Brooklyn Nets team is going to rely on Caris LeVert. He has a massive usage rate, and this game should be one for him to continue to try to put his foot on the gas and see what he can't do to help this Brooklyn team out. So I'm definitely ready to lock and load Caris LeVert tomorrow, and I'm actually comfortable with him in all formats at 8.2K. I do prefer him in tournaments because I think there's better places to spend your salary that gives you more of a safe floor. But with the minutes kind of guaranteed, it's hard to ignore Caris LeVert. So he's not a horrible cash play, but definitely somebody I like a lot in tournaments. And now for the next play, we do not have to go far. We're going one player below to FVV, Fred VanVleet, who I played yesterday. I told everybody to play him yesterday, and I'm looking to run it back with Fred VanVleet again. These 3 players that I'm mentioning to you guys in this video are actually all 3 players that I played yesterday, and it worked out well in terms of ownership percentage and obviously output. Fred VanVleet got 39 minutes on the court and had 60 fantasy points. Granted, a lot of that's going to come from this 80% shooting percentage from three-point territory. Fred VanVleet has a 22.2% usage rate on the year, and he averages over 1 fantasy point per minute. However, since the restart, he's actually averaging over 1.15 fantasy points per minute. And in those 39 minutes he just saw, it's pretty ridiculous. I mean, he averaged a really, really good output and good efficiency due to that 3-point shooting percentage. But if we say this was a slower game, let's say he only made 4 of those 3-pointers, we're still talking at least 40 fantasy points there from Fred VanVleet. So I'm definitely happy to run it back. I think he's going to see another massive minute game here. Look to see at least 35 plus, and at 7,600 here in the salary pricing on DK, I'm definitely very comfortable playing Fred VanVleet in all formats. I think he's a safer cash play than Caris LeVert is tomorrow. And he's just guards against Brooklyn are a real thing. I like to play guards against Brooklyn. But I will say Fred VanVleet with those minutes almost being guaranteed, not 39, but 35 plus, I think he's in for tomorrow, assuming the game does stay competitive. Gladly, Brooklyn did bring it back yesterday and keep it pretty close going into the fourth quarter, close enough to keep the starters in for Toronto. As long as that happens again, it's going to be another really, really big smash spot for Fred VanVleet. So I'm definitely not hesitant to stack him and Caris LeVert. And just this game in general for some of my GPP lines, especially single entries. I think there's a big edge to be had in single entry tournaments right now. A lot of people like to kind of just throw their cash lines into single entries. However, if you make a couple game stacks and some things that are a little bit more contrarian in those single entries. Leverage is very, very easy to come by. So if he can stay hot from downtown, it's going to be another massive game from Fred VanVleet. However, even if he can't, he should have no issue at all paying off this $7,600 price tag. And my last play is one more guard for you guys. I was going to bring up the Kristaps Porzingis, just got ruled questionable with a knee injury. I was going to bring up Luka, and I was also going to bring up Boban, but I'll keep you guys posted on Twitter. So if you guys want to see where I'm at with Luka and Boban tomorrow, make sure you go follow my Twitter. The link will be in the description below. It's actually, I think it's in the overlay right over my head right now, but make sure you do go follow me on Twitter. Turn on notifications. I tweet a lot of fun stuff, but I also tweet serious stuff in terms of who I think you need to be locking and loading into your lineups. But the last play of this video is going to be Alec Burks. Alec Burks has been my favorite player to just continue to punch in since this restart. He has been, or I'm sorry, not since the restart, since the Ben Simmons injury. Let me be clear on that. But no, ever since Ben Simmons got injured, I was kind of more of a believer in the Shake show, Shake Milton, than most people were. I didn't just go ahead and throw him into everything, but I did run him in a few GPPs. I wanted to watch the games and kind of see how they separated the time between him and Burks on the court, and I'm really liking what I'm seeing from Alec Burks coming off the bench. He sees a lot more time without guys like Embiid and Harris on the court. Granted, they see a ton of minutes, and he does see most of his minutes with them. The minutes he sees without them are extremely efficient, and his output has been insane, and he just continues to be mispriced by these sites. That 24.7% usage rate is definitely crucial with Ben Simmons off the court. I mean, he's continuing to make plays with the ball. He averages over one fantasy point per minute with Simmons off the floor, and over 1.2 fantasy points per minute, to be clear, since the restart and the Simmons injury. So that average, considering that he's going to see at least, I would say, 23 to 24 minutes at the floor of his minutes tomorrow, that's going to make for a very, very strong and easy payoff. It's a very safe play at 4.6K. I'm definitely fine with him in all formats. I'm going to keep abusing this misprice until he's 5.2K plus. At that point, he's going to be more of a GPP play. But I've just been continuing to just throw him into my lineups in all formats, and it's been continuing to pay off, and I'm not going to stop now. We just saw him play 28 minutes against Boston, and he actually had a pretty down game in terms of production after seeing 28 minutes, so I'm looking for him to do a little bit better this time. Hopefully he does see those same minutes. But we have yet to see a ceiling game from Alec Burks since that Ben Simmons injury. Don't be surprised if that comes against this Boston Celtics team, who has been very, very weak against opposing backcourts since the restart. Generally, Boston's a strong defensive team. Marcus Smart, obviously an amazing defender. Even their forwards are great defenders. Kemba's not a bad defender, but I will say the guards have just been chewing away at Boston since the bubble started. So make sure that you guys don't sleep on Alec Burks tomorrow. He's one of my favorite plays for cash and tournaments. Granted, this is a little bit of an early look because we don't have news on Jaylen Brown. We don't have news on Kristaps Porzingis, but there's nothing better I can think to do other than get my video out the night before. So that's what we're going to start doing. We are going to get back on the grind. I do appreciate every single one of you guys out there for watching this video. I hope this does help you with your lineups tomorrow. If you do have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. I'm happy to get back to you guys. But again, let me know who your favorite plays are for tomorrow. I know it's a little bit of an early look, so anybody that gets back to me before 10 or 11 a.m. tomorrow, it's going to be kind of an early look from you guys as well. So I want to see who you guys are on, who you guys like, who you guys are going back to the well with, and maybe who you guys are getting off of this time around, maybe who burned you just yesterday. So make sure you let me know in the comment section below. The link to my new site, pointsourcedfs.com, will be in the subscription or in the description. But we are providing projections, unique player ratings, as well as optimals and things like that over on our site. So make sure you guys go ahead and click that link. At least go check it out. I do a free article over there breaking down 3 of my top plays, and I promised that I would not do more than 1 overlapping play. So I may write about one of these players that I mentioned in this video, but 2 other ones will be totally different. So make sure you guys go over there and check that out. And again, on Twitter, at my Twitter, at WalkerVelocics, make sure you guys follow that. That will be in the description below. And if you guys do follow, turn on that notification bell, because I always tweet out anytime I post my article. And you guys are essentially going to be getting 5 top plays from me now. So I do definitely recommend going over there and looking at that. And I also have been listing my GPP plays, my top GPP plays over there. A couple of my favorites tonight were Terrence Ross, Danilo Gallinari, Anthony Davis, Damian Lillard, and somebody else. I can't remember who the other one was, but AD and Damian Lillard are still mid-game right now. It's very early. I believe it's like the start of the second quarter, so we're going to have to see how that shakes out. Obviously, Terrence Ross, Danilo Gallinari did very, very well, and my top play of the day was Giannis. So today has already been somewhat successful. Hopefully, AD and Dame come through in terms of my GPP plays, but they were for tournaments in more of a game stack format. But definitely go over there, check out my articles, check out the site. Do leave a like on the video, and again, thank you guys for coming out, and I will see you guys again tomorrow.